welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about products that disappointed me. So these are all items that I've purchased and that I've worked with, and I just couldn't get to work for me. So I thought I would share them with you because I spent my hard-earned money on them and they didn't work for me, so I don't want you to do the same thing. So yeah, without further ado, we have quite a bit to talk about, so we're gonna dive right in. All right, so the first thing I have is from EcoTools, and this is their makeup brush cleansing cloth. Sorry about that, there's a little bit of eyelash glue on there. Listen, you guys, I thought these were gonna be great for spot cleaning my brushes in between uses. They just didn't work for me. They were not saturated enough. They're very dry. And honestly, there's no like scratchiness about these. They're very thin. You can easily just tear them apart. So they're not very durable. I just honestly, for swatches, these might work for that, but quite frankly, they're just not really worth my time. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass these on to someone else that might appreciate them. I got mine at TJ Maxx. They're originally $6.99, and I think that's also pretty steep for what this is, quite honestly. So I know e.l.f. makes some. I know e.l.f. makes a little brush cleanser spray. Maybe try that out instead. I've never personally tried them, but these were a bust for me. The next thing I have is from e.l.f., and these are their brow stencils. So honestly, you guys, I just found these very difficult to work with. Maybe it's just me, but it's kind of awkward holding these up, and you know, maybe for a beginner, I mean, that's when I purchased them. I was just kind of trying to learn how to do my brows, and so I picked these up thinking that they might help, but I found them really awkward to work with. The plastic is really kind of heavy but flimsy, so it's just, they're awkward, and maybe that's just me. I'm gonna go ahead and pass these on as well to someone else that might appreciate them, but for me, even though I think they're only $1 or $2, they just really didn't work out for me. The next product I have is something that I might be in the minority because I keep hearing people rave about this, and this is the NYX finishing powder in banana. So I don't know, you guys. I didn't think that there was anything super special about this. I mean, it is a very soft powder, but I just prefer loose powders to set under my eyes. I felt like this looked a little heavy and noticeable under my eyes personally. It is very nice, you know, for fair complexions because it's not super yellow or overpowering, but it just, I don't know, it just fell flat for me. I wasn't really impressed with it, so I'll be passing that one on as well. The next product I have is the Smashbox LA Lights Blendable Lip and Cheek Color. This I'm going to be just throwing in the garbage. I don't really like to pass on cream products too much, but I mean, I used quite a bit of it, so I really did try to give this a go, and I used it mostly as a lip product. I'm not a huge fan of cream like blushes or cheek products per se, but this is sort of sticky, you guys. Like, I couldn't imagine putting this on my cheeks. I just feel like this is very emollient for a cheek product. So for me personally, I ended up using this mostly on the lips to try to get some use out of it. But it is nothing that I would repurchase, and honestly, I'm just happy to get rid of it. The next product was a huge fail. These are the LA Girl Metal Liquid Lipsticks. You guys, these are terrible. They are they're just awkward. They are not very pigmented, or opaque, if you will, and it's just this weird, like, moussey, awkward formula, and they're not very metallic, quite honestly. I know these are cheap, but I would rather just spend a few more dollars and get something from NYX that I think performs so much better, and this one was in the shade Prism, so pass. I have another lip product. This is from the Ulta Beauty collection. This is the Lip Plumping Transforming Top Coat in the shade Utopia. I do not think this first of all, I'm very much used to the Buxom plumping glosses. Those are my favorite. They are there's menthol inside of them, so they do give you a tingling feeling. It's nothing overwhelming like the Too Faced lip injections, which physically burn. The Buxom ones aren't like that. So when I picked this up, I sort of expected the same thing and nothing. And then this weird wand. It's literally like a silicone, like there's no flex to it. It's just this very strange, hard, pointy little, I don't know. This is not my jam. It's very rainbow unicorny, which, you know, some folks might be into. It's thick, it's goopy, it's just not my thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this also. It's kind of sad because it is pretty. I think it would be pretty over like a purple or a plum like lipstick. It would probably be pretty over that, but just not my style. The next product is from NYX, and it's an eyebrow gel. It looks like this. I have the shade Chocolate. I don't really know what I was thinking going with the shade Chocolate. I mean, this is far too dark for me. Now, if you are looking for something that will literally stay on your eyebrows all day long and then some, this is the product for that. However, I do not like the packaging. It's a squeeze tube, first of all, and it's very hard to control how much product you get out. And then it's it like clumped up on me, and now I can't even get the product out. Very strange. And then also, you know, because it's in a squeeze tube and you need to go in with like a brush of some sort, I found myself putting it on my hand, and I would literally have to scrub my hand to death to get this off. Some days I would forget and then get to work and look down and be like, oh, well, that's awkward. There's just like this brown mark there. Honestly, you guys, I prefer the Wonder Brow or the Physicians Formula Brow Last over this for packaging purposes especially. But this just it just wasn't my thing. All right, the next product is a Milani powder blush in the shade Coral Cove. Now, again, I've heard a lot of people speak very highly about these blushes, but for me, I don't know if I got a dud or what, but this is so chalky, you guys. I mean, you can get pigment off, but you really have to go in and scrape to get any sort of pigmentation, and then it just looks chalky and strange. It doesn't blend out. Maybe mine is old, I'm not sure, but for me personally, this is just not for me. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on because it is brand new and I've only tried to use it a couple times and it just never worked for me personally. Let me know if you guys have one of these and if you experienced the same thing, because all I see is rave reviews on those Milani blushes. The next product is these e.l.f. Natural Lash Kits. So when I first started trying out false lashes, I picked these up because they were very cheap, $1. And these look horrible on. They're very hard to work with, even for a beginner, because they're very plasticky. So there's no give to the lash band. I just didn't think these looked flattering on me personally, so I'm gonna pass these on to someone else. Now these were only $1, so I mean, what can you expect for $1? But I've heard of amazing lashes that cost $1 on like Shop Miss A and things like that. So just for me, they're not my style. I'm gonna pass them along. Someone else might get use in them. But if you are starting out with lashes, I would say Ardell Demi Wispies, you guys. I know these are $1, but I had a very hard time with these in the beginning. So the next product that didn't work for me is the CoverGirl Outlast All Day Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 Foundation. I just did not care for the way that this looked on my skin personally. I've heard a lot of great things about this foundation, but for me it almost seemed to have like a powdery finish, which was really sort of strange. I think it was hard to work with, honestly, because of that. Now, maybe that's just me. I'm not sure. I literally used this 3 or 4 times and I just always felt like it looked powdery on me. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this one on as well. I have the Maybelline Master Camo. This is their color correcting pen in the shade Apricot. Tomato. So this is very pigmented, first of all. Very, very dark. So my issue with this was this always mixed in with my concealer. Even if I would let it dry down, my concealer that I would place on top of it or foundation always sort of found its way to mix in with this, and then it was just an awkward orange mess under my eyes. So maybe this is too dark. Maybe I should try the pink one out, or the lighter shade of this. But for me personally, this just wasn't my jam, you guys. And they're rather spendy. I think I paid like 10 bucks for this thing. So I just think there's better options out there for less money. And also it's got the sponge tip situation that not everyone is a fan of. I personally don't mind it because I'm the only one using the product, but I could see where that would bother some people. So I'm going to move on and pass that along. All right, next up is the Boscia Green Tea Oil Control Mask. As you can see, this is a peel-off type mask. You guys, no matter how long I left this on my face to dry down, it never peeled off in like chunk. It was like literally, it took more time to peel this off than it did putting the product on and waiting for it to dry down. Maybe it's bad, I'm not sure. I didn't get it that long ago. And then once I finally got it all off an hour later, I just didn't really see that it did anything for me personally. I didn't see any sort of result that would make me want to dedicate that much time to this product. The masks from L'Oreal, I love those, and they're not peel-offs, but I actually see result when I use those. So I would not look into this. This is not, it's not good. All right, moving into a facial oil. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Cell Renewal Facial Oil. This is old now, and I'm just totally going to throw this out, but I picked this up when I was first getting into sort of moisturizing and things like that. This is a very heavy oil, in my opinion, and it's also very heavily fragranced, extremely fragranced. And, you know, for me personally, if I'm going in with a product like an oil or a skincare product, I don't like those products to be overtly fragranced because fragrance tends to be rough on your skin. And I just feel like it sort of counteracts what you're trying to do. So for me, this, I mean, you see, I really tried. It was just far too heavy, far too fragranced, and this just wasn't for me personally. Now, maybe if you had super dry, irritated skin, this might work, but then again, the fragrance is going to further irritate your dry, irritated skin. So I don't know, you guys. And then same goes with this L'Oreal Age Perfect Golden Balm. So I mean, I put a good dent in here, you guys, but again, heavily fragranced, a very mature, sort of musky, spicy fragrance. Very heavy. It just sort of sat on top of my skin. I would not recommend this. Even if you have dry skin, I would not recommend this because it is so heavily fragranced. And I found that a lot with L'Oreal skincare, and that goes for this one from them also, an eyelash. This is supposed to be for oily skin, you guys, and I tried this a few times, and I just felt like this did nothing at all. I'm going to pass this on, see if someone can get some use out of it, because it's literally a brand new container. It comes out as a gel-like consistency, as you can see there, but once you get this rubbed in, it just feels like, where did it go, you know? And I know when you have oily skin, you don't necessarily want something very heavy, but this just felt like nothing at all. Very fragranced. It's a fresh scent. It kind of reminds me of the Nivea Post Shave Balm, but I don't know. I didn't vibe with this. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pass that on. Now, these guys here from Revlon, I actually really enjoy these lip products. A lot of people don't like them. They're the Ultra HD Matte Lip Colors. Now, while these are matte, they do not dry down. So that, I think, is the issue that a lot of people have with these specific lippies. Now, for me, I have, I think, 3 shades of them. I'm trying to grab them for you guys. So I have these 3 shades here. Addiction was the first one I bought, Passion, and Kisses. And I enjoy these. I like that they're not super drying. They will move around if you do not line your lips, but I find if I just line my lips, they're perfectly fine. The pigmentation is amazing, and they just feel comfortable on the lips, with the exception of this one. So I wanted a vampy sort of shade in this line, and this is the one that they have. It's called Infatuation. This is not good, you guys. It's very patchy. It's not opaque. You literally have to continue to layer and layer, and then you still do not get the opacity that I guess I was hoping for out of this product. So while I think the other shades are great, if you are okay with liquid lipsticks that do not dry down fully, you will probably like those because they are not drying at all whatsoever. But this one I would avoid because it is very streaky, and I don't have that issue with these ones here. Like, these go on beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful. So I don't know if it's just maybe the darker shades, but I mean, I have this shade here, which is a Ready Berry, and this one is Passion. That one's good. And I mean, the other one is the same. They go on pretty pigmented. So I was a little disappointed about that. And then the last couple products, this one here is from Bella Pierre, and I found this at TJ Maxx. This is the Glowing Palette. Now, for me personally, you guys, I already have so many highlights that I reached for this a few times. It was super affordable. I think it was like $4 or something like that. I just find these to be a bit chalky, you guys. They just don't melt into the skin the way that I like a highlight to be. They're also a little too dark. I mean, I find these to be more of like blush toppers than highlights. You can sort of see them on my cheeks, and I just don't like that in a highlight. But I know someone that will probably really enjoy this, so I'm gonna pass it on to her. I think she will get more use out of it than I will. So just not my favorite formula, just chalky, powdery, you know. And then the last product I have is from Maybelline. It's one of their lipsticks, and this is a metallic, and it's in the shade Copper Rose. Now, I love the Maybelline lipsticks. I think they're great. Affordable drugstore options, very creamy. They go on beautifully. They're very opaque. This one, not so much. Pretty disappointed with this, actually, because it's very streaky, number one. You really have to go in hard in order to get any sort of level of pigmentation. And then it's really not that metallic. So I don't know. This just was disappointing. I just think it's too fussy for my liking. I'm very picky with my lip products. And this disappointed me because I love the Maybelline Bullet lipsticks, but this metallic formula of theirs, I would avoid them. They're not great. I'll pop out one of my other ones. This one is in the shade Orange Danger. It's just this beautiful, bright orangey shade, which is perfect for like the summer months. And I mean, these are beautiful. They're just stunning. The pigmentation, is great. For $5 or $6, I mean, I would stick with their original and just avoid the metallic ones because they're just not good, you guys, unfortunately. And that's it. I have an empty bin now, minus these random eyelashes that need to go in the garbage. But aside from that, my bin is empty, so I can start filling it up with more products that disappointed me. Hopefully there won't be too many, but you know how it goes, you guys. So anyways, I hope you found this helpful. If you like this sort of thing, I do a lot of hauls, I do a lot of just videos like this, my collection series as well. So if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a like. That helps me out a lot and it lets me know what you guys are into seeing. And yeah, subscribe. I'd love to see you here next time. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Bye.